It's time for me to make this video. I need to take my, I was going to make a video about this last night, but I got so exhausted, and I'm exhausted now, technically. So here's the deal. Don't expect me to go into every single detail about this year's draft, because I am not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood right now. But let me just this is just going to be some random talk. So where do I start? Let's start with Denver. The first pick that the Broncos selected was a cornerback. Not a quarterback, but a cornerback. In Bradley Roby from the University of Ohio. Or, I'm sorry, the Ohio State University, as the alumnus like to say. Obviously they need somebody opposite Aqib Talib. So there you go. And obviously, because Chris Harris is not come back, is not going to be ready for the 2014 season. So there you go there. Then the Broncos pick up a wide receiver to obviously replace Decker, and just in case Demaryius Thomas decides to leave and go for the big money elsewhere. And because Wes Welker, this is Wes Welker's last season with the team as well. Yeah, at least it's his final year of the current contract. And I don't see him being re-signed by the Broncos. I really don't. Then the third round pick, and they pick up, and then the rest of the draft they were picking offensive linemen and linebackers. So they were getting a good mix in, I guess. And I don't remember the guys, and I don't remember the guys' names because I really don't give a shit. It is what it is. I think Denver did okay. I think Denver did all right within the draft. I mean, I'm not super happy because I think Denver needs to build for the future, because I don't think Denver's going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not believing that hype yet, if ever. So there you go. All right, let me get to it. Cleveland. What the fuck? So here's the deal. The Cleveland Browns pass up on a wide receiver in Sammy Watkins, who's the best receiver, who apparently is the best receiver in the draft. Okay, they pass this guy up, they trade down, and Buffalo ends up getting him. But not only that, their number one wide receiver, Josh Gordon, is suspended. Or is going to be anyway, for once again testing positive for banned substances. This is why he was drafted in the supplemental draft 2 years ago, for that very same shit. He got caught last year, was suspended 2 games without pay, and then fined 4 more game checks. So 6 games into the season, he was not getting paid. And this year, he's going to be suspended for the entire season without pay. This is what happens when you shit your talent away on banned substances. I mean, his career's over in Cleveland, because this is technically his 3rd strike anyway. I mean, or at least his 2nd one in the NFL, but he was caught with these substances before, which is why he was drafted in the supplemental draft. So he's out. So he's done in Cleveland, sadly. Oh yeah, then they draft Johnny Manziel, of course, which would be a good pick, but like I said, who's he going to throw the ball to? I mean, there's no true number 1 receiver, just wannabe #1 receivers. And Leonard Little. Just saying. And I'm not a firm believer in Manziel. He could end up being another Tebow. We'll wait and see. I'm not sold on him yet. I'm sorry. Okay, what else? And the guy that the Cleveland Browns should have drafted if they wanted to go quarterback, the Vikings did draft Teddy Bridgewater. This is it's a good fit for Teddy Bridgewater. The Vikings also needed a quarterback. Of course, my issue is this, that the Vikings were trying to trade up to get Johnny Manziel. So the feeling is the feeling in Minnesota is that they had to settle for Teddy Bridgewater, which is fucking ridiculous, in my opinion, because, okay, he had a bad pro day. He practiced without the gloves. Big fucking deal. Put the gloves back on and he's ready to go. He'll be ready to go. Whatever. And for the record, I don't watch college football because I don't give a flying fuck about that shit. Especially ever since they decided to move the fucking bowl games to ESPN. Fuck you. Anyway, speaking of Buffalo, so they get Sammy Watkins, a good target for Eel Juice Manuel, even though Eel Juice Manuel does not deserve to be a starter in the National Football League. But anyway, we'll just go with it for now. Let's see. So they get Sammy Watkins, someone to compliment Stevie Johnson. But here's the problem: they trade him to fucking San Francisco, and people are shocked by this. I'm sure some people are shocked by this, but why should you be? It's fucking Buffalo. They do this shit constantly. Oh, what the fuck is up with Buffalo? And you wonder why people wonder why Buffalo has not made the playoffs since 1999. Okay? But people like making excuses. It's because the Patriots have had better schedules than the Buffalo Bills. It's because Buffalo had to face teams coming off Thursday night games. It's complete utter bullshit. Alright, whatever there. What else is there to talk about? Oh, the St. Louis Rams draft Michael Sam today. Today, anyway, because this will be uploaded today, but, people will watch it tomorrow or the next day after that, and whatever. But yes, Michael Sam, the first openly gay player to be drafted in the National Football League. Congrats to him. And he's staying home technically because it's in St. Louis for now anyway. But yeah, my issue is this. It's not, if he fucking sucks, people are gonna make excuses like, oh, you don't like him because he's gay. No, it's not that at all. It's because he's not a good player. But if he's a good player, if he plays well during his time with the Rams, then hey, then okay, people are not gonna criticize the guy. It's that simple. I don't care if he's gay or not. All I care about is if he plays football. But in any event, hey, other than that, not a big deal. But the problem with the Rams is they still didn't draft the quarterback that they need. Because, let's be honest here. Another year with Sam Bradford. So really, you're gonna blow more fucking money on this guy? I understand he was having a good season in 2013, but you know what? Maybe he should have had that good season, that breakout season, or started having that breakout season in 2012. I mean, Jesus Christ. He's entering his 5th season now. When are we going to see that fucking pop from Sam Bradford? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. We already saw it with Cam Newton. We already saw it with Andrew Luck. We already saw it with Robert Griffin. And Russell Wilson. But we're not, and those guys were drafted after him. Years after him. This is Sam Bradford's 5th season, and he hasn't done anything since his Rookie of the Year season in 2010. That was 4 seasons ago. Whatever. What else? I don't want to go all day. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who drafted a quarterback, and what the fuck was up with this overhype of Johnny Manziel? That's why I think he's going to be a bust, because everyone's overhyping the guy. You know? Everyone's overhyping this guy. The media started this bullshit overhype. You know? And yet he kept falling and falling and falling. He should have fell a lot more, because what the fuck are people thinking? Saying that he's a first-round pick. It's Tim Tebow all over again, like I just said. And let me get to this year's #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Good pick by the Houston Texans. And Houston technically needed a quarterback. I don't know. I have not kept myself updated on the potential Ryan Mallett trade, which I believe will happen. Who knows? Who knows? It might have already happened as I speak, because I haven't been keeping update on that. But yeah, Houston needed a quarterback, but they drafted the best player they felt was available. And yeah, and like I said, it's a passing league, and you need pass rushers to get to the quarterback. So yeah, the move makes sense. Plus you have J.J. Watt, the other pass rusher. So Jadeveon is going to be learning from him, because a guy like J.J. Watt, who I absolutely enjoy watching him play, he's going to learn from him. He's going to learn. Hopefully he's a quick learner, because there were questions about, people were scratching their heads about that pick, because he only had 4 sacks in his senior year. But you know what? Let's judge him on what he does on the field. Same thing with Manziel. Let's judge him on the field. And Blake Bortles, let's talk about Blake Bortles for a moment with the Jacksonville Jaguars, because that was originally what I wanted to talk about in the first place. People are saying that he's not going to start right away, which I call bullshit on. I think he will start right away. Seriously, you're going to go with Chad Henne. Another year with Chad Henne at starting quarterback. And plus, you better get players around. You better get players around him quick. Hopefully they did. We'll just have to wait and see when the 2014 season comes, which I will be making division predictions on throughout the month of May and June. These are just preliminary. They're preliminaries, but all right, let me wrap this up properly. So yeah, so for the second year in a row, there were no running backs drafted in the first round. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, I just wanted to add that in there, because I had more to say. Just for that alone, last year, a running back wasn't called until a few picks into the second round. And why? Well, let me get to the point. Why was it like that? It's because of the new rules of the NFL. You can't hit quarterbacks. Marshall Faulk mentioned it himself. You can't hit quarterbacks in certain areas anymore. People are gonna draft quarterbacks and tackles and receivers because it's a passing league. Oh yeah, and pass rushers as well. So of course, you don't need a running back right away. And because the NFL likes expanding the draft, and they want to expand it even further. Shit, why don't we just have this? Why don't we just have 7 rounds, 7 days? Just go full retard on that, okay? So more players are going to get more exposure, more potential NFL players will get more exposure, of course. And they're not going to, of course, you don't have to get a running back right away unless he's really good. And I mean really good, like an Adrian Peterson and like a Marshall Faulk, like help me out here. I mean, ever since 2012 when Trent Richardson was drafted, and his career wasn't really that great, kind of sent a message to football teams that maybe running back should not be drafted this high in the first round. I mean, unless he's that special talent, like I said, unless he's that special talent like an Adrian Peterson, no fucking way. All right, I want to end it like this because I ended it originally in very, very stupid fashion, and I don't want that going on YouTube because I'm trying real hard to maintain my composure. So I hope I explained it as well as I can. And now with that out of the way, time for me to focus on the top 100 players of 2014, and it's time for me to and making my preliminary division predictions. So, till next time, later, fuckers.